Hello, beloveds. How are you? Welcome to Healing is the Hustle podcast. It's been a long time coming, but I think 2025 is the year that I finally launch this podcast. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jay Chantalangsi. I'm a self-care coach, meditation teacher. I help people start their healing journeys, and hopefully I can inspire you, motivate you, and encourage you to start or continue your healing journey. So how did I get here? How did I become this person to help others on their healing journey? Well, I went through my own arduous, beautiful, gut-wrenching, enlightening healing journey myself. And it started a long time ago, maybe almost a decade ago. But my story came from a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of anger issues, a lot of lack of emotional intelligence, a lot of lack of emotional regulation. But it also came with a lot of realizations, a lot of enlightenment, a lot of deep understanding of why things happened to me to put me on this path of healing. And because I chose to heal, it also transcended into everyone that was connected to me. My wife, my children, my friends, my business, everything. Which is why I'm so adamant about healing, and which is why the tagline and the title for this podcast, like I've been saying for many years, if you've been following me, is Healing is the Hustle. Because healing is the hustle that can rewrite your story. And once we begin to heal, things begin to change. We start to have this different outlook on life. We start to realize and become aware of our own behaviors and actions and responses. And we can then choose moment to moment, day to day, how to be. Are we going to choose our old versions, the versions that are conditioned with trauma, with pain, with suffering, with shame, all these negative emotions? Or are we going to choose to be better, to be more responsive, to be more emotionally intelligent, to be more loving, to be more kind and compassionate? So healing can bring all those things. But a lot of people, I find, with all the people that I've helped, I find that it's difficult for them to even begin this beautiful journey. A lot of people don't know where to begin. I was in the same boat. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a guide. I did it out of desperation. I did it out of immense suffering. I did it out of the pain that would alter someone to make that decision to finally change. I came to a breaking point. I had enough. I couldn't go on another day being the same person. And so, because of that, I made that important decision to heal. And let me tell you, it was not easy. It was not an overnight thing. It was not something that was given to me by someone who saw something and saw that I was struggling. It was given to me out of suffering, out of pain, out of exhaustion. And so when I finally made that decision, I then put in the work. And as we go along this podcast, I will explain through stories about my own healing journey. Hopefully, I can share some advice, some motivation, some inspiration, actionable tips to help you begin. Like I mentioned before, a lot of people don't know where to begin. They're aware that they need to heal, that they want to heal, but where do we begin? How do we take that first step? And for those that have been following me, my first step to healing is self-care. And that's a pretty loaded word, but we can break that down in future episodes and give you some of my other protocols to help you begin self-care and to help you start to consider yourself first, because that's really important. A lot of us put ourselves last. A lot of us are people pleasers. A lot of us have specific trauma response behaviors out of survival to take care of everybody else first and put yourself on the back burner. Like I said, we can talk about that in a different episode, but this initial episode for this podcast, I just want to introduce myself to give you an outlook and perspective of what you can expect for this podcast. I plan on bringing people, experts, and other individuals to help you understand the path of healing and this beautiful journey. And also, I want to, like I mentioned before, inspire you to begin. All healing in the world starts with you. If you don't do the work, nothing will happen. It is imperative that you choose to want to do this work. It's not easy, but the rewards are immense. It's transgenerational. It can cause a ripple effect that you wouldn't even imagine. And so hopefully this podcast will help you understand where you are, where you want to be. And if you haven't already, I hope that it inspires you to begin. And you will not be alone in your healing journey. You can always come back here. It's a safe space. You can reach out, and I will do my best to connect. But just you being here already lets me know that you want to heal. So, welcome to the Healing Tribe. Welcome to the Healing is the Hustle podcast. I'll be your host, Jay Chantalangsi, and I'm so glad you're here. And I look forward to helping you on your journey. And I feel grateful that I can even be a part of your beautiful journey. So, I will see you in the next episode. And before I go, shout out to K Fresh Music. He was able to provide the opening, intro music, and outro music to this podcast. So go follow him on Instagram, on all the social medias. He's a beat maker. Crazy story is when I first got on TikTok and built the community and built the Healing Tribe, I was scrolling and I came across one of his videos, and the beat was just, it just makes your head nod. I was like, ooh, that's a dope beat. So I started liking all of his videos and commenting and just supporting him because I loved his music. I loved his vibe. His whole thing was he wanted to make hip hop fresh again, which really resonated with me. And so throughout the years, he's just been putting out all of these amazing sounds. And when I wanted to do this podcast and create that intro music, that's the first person I thought of. I was like, oh, I wonder if he has a beat. And here it is. So you'll be hearing his beat in the intro and the outro. The title of it is called Keep Pushing. So fitting, right? So fitting, yeah. And if you want to go support him, I'll have the links connected to this podcast in this video. Go show him some love. And if you're a creative and want to use some of his beats, he sells them. And yeah, connect with them. But other than that, I look forward to seeing you again. And if you want to connect further, leave me a comment or connect with me on social media or just email me. I'll have it listed here on the notes. All right?